Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be testing out some new drugstore makeup. I made a trip to Walmart yesterday, but it wasn't the Walmart that is 5 minutes away from my house. I was actually in a different town at a Walmart last night, and I wandered over to the makeup section, and they had quite a few things that my Walmart does not have. So I grabbed a few of them and thought we would try them out together in this video today. So let me walk you guys through a couple of things that I grabbed. First off, this right here, this is the Physicians Formula Dewy Blush Elixir. I also grabbed two of the Almay lips. I want to say lip stories. These are not the Sephora lip stories, but they look just like them. These are the Almay #lip vibes lipsticks. They also had in this Walmart, which my Walmart does not carry, a whole section of Profusion products. You guys might know that I really love Profusions, both their face products and their eyeshadows. I think they're fantastic, but I've been wanting to pick up another one for a while. I actually was planning on picking up the Wanderlust palette, which Ellie Glines really loves. I also have heard Kelly Gooch really love on that palette, but I ended up going with this one instead. This is their Sunkissed palette. These greens are really calling to me. They're a little bit bright. They're a little bit lime in color, but they also have a little bit of that like avocado tone to them. And I'm a huge fan of a khaki / army / avocado green. I don't know that I can really pull that color off on my eyes, but we're going to try it today. To go along with that palette, I also grabbed their eyeshadow primer. This is the No Budge eyeshadow primer from Profusion. This thing was like $2.99 or $3.99, so we're going to give that a try as well. And the last new thing that I grabbed, this was a Melissa M made me buy it. So Melissa M here on YouTube recently did a ranking her favorite highlighters in her collection. She ranked this at #1. This is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Highlighter. This one is in the color Snow Much Ice. Saw that they had this in stock, so I grabbed this, and I am excited to try this out. It looks really pretty. And then to fill in some of the gaps, we will just be using some of my other favorite drugstore makeup. So I hope that you guys are excited about this video. If you are new to my channel, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you are subscribed. And with that said, let's get some of this makeup on my face. All right, guys, so I feel like if I was wise, I probably would do my eyes first, but I've tried that a few times and I never like doing my eyes first. I feel like my face needs to be done before I can see what I really want to happen on my eyes. So we're just gonna do my face first. I'm gonna start off with a little bit of primer. This is the Catrice Fresh It Up primer. I've really been enjoying this primer when I use a primer, which is not always, but I do really enjoy this one. If you have very dry skin, which my skin is definitely getting drier every single day as our temperature drops every single day, which I'm not complaining about, by the way. Very excited for fall and winter. And now I think for foundation, I want to try out a concoction that I've never tried before. So we're going to mix a little bit of my Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation with this right here. This is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. And now I have tried this foundation out a few times and it oxidizes a little bit on me to the point where I don't really know when this matches me. I feel like I've tried it in the summer and it's too light, but if I try it in the fall or the winter, it's a little bit too dark. The one I have is in the shade Ivory. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of my Flower Beauty. I'm feeling like that's still gonna be too light. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of my Flower Beauty foundation that's too dark, which is the shade Tawny, because I'm trying to get this color match just right. But basically this is gonna be like 50% the Flower Beauty foundation and 50% the CoverGirl foundation. It looks a little light, but I'm thinking that it probably will oxidize just a little bit. I also forgot to mention, I picked up a sponge from Wet n Wild. This thing was $3.94 or something, like under $4 at Walmart, and I'm very curious to see how it works, because that is a great price for a sponge. I kind of feel like I didn't get enough product pumped out, and I'm worried about reconcocting the same color because I mixed 3 colors together in kind of a random amount, so I don't really know if I can recreate this shade, but I think I'm just going to try and make this work, and then we'll just cover anything else that we need with a little bit of concealer. For concealer, we are going to be using a mixture of the 2 CoverGirl concealers. These are their Undercover, True Blend Undercover concealers, and I mixed together 2 shades to get my perfect match. One of them is M100, one is L100. So I like to just take a little bit of each of those on the back of my hand, and then I kind of just mix them together and then use that pretty much everywhere. I find that works great for under my eyes. It works great for areas that I need coverage on my face. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty good for concealer. I have way too much concealer. I think I was thinking I would use this to prime my eyelids And then I remembered that we have an eyeshadow primer to try today. But let's finish off with the face first. So now I'm going to move into bronzer. I almost bought the Maybelline City bronzer, and then I reminded myself that I don't need bronzer. And if I'm going to buy something that I don't need, let it be an eyeshadow palette. So we're going to go in with this instead. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contour Stick in the color Oaks on You. So I'm going to actually apply this with a brush. I've been doing this with my Milk one, which I love that Milk bronzer so much. I love this one as well. But I actually like applying these bronzers, the cream bronzers, with this brush, which I've told you guys about before. This is from the Moda Mythical set. This is their, I forget what it's called, complexion brush. I love the size of this thing. So I think I've mentioned in a recent video that I felt like this was a close dupe for the Milk bronzer. The more I use it, they're similar to each other, but the more I use it, the more I do think this one is quite a bit warmer than the Milk one. If you have trouble with bronzers turning orange on you, I think this one might give you a little bit of trouble with that, whereas the Milk one definitely doesn't do that for me. Now, I don't really mind a warm bronze. I think you have to blend it out a little bit better, and it also doesn't look good with every single eye look that you do. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can kind of tell. It's just a hair on the warm / orange side. Let me know if you guys have tried it out. I actually think the color Where's Walnut, I think I prefer that one a little bit more. You have to be a little more careful with that one because it's darker. But I don't think it's quite as warm. It doesn't have the like yellowy orange warmth that this one seems to have. All right, now I'm gonna move into blush. Almost forgot. I was this close to reaching for a powder blush, forgetting that this is one of the things I am most excited to try. So again, you guys, Jessica Braun, and I know a lot of other people have talked about this as well, but Jessica has been raving about this thing for a while, and I've kind of dragged my feet on it. I've seen it at my Walmart a lot recently. It's been there for a couple of weeks, but it's a little pricey, especially for a product that I know I'm never going to use up. There's a lot of product in here, and from what I understand, you only need the tiniest amount, but I'm very excited to give this a try. So I think I'm gonna do this today with my favorite stippling brush, and this is the Luxie Duo Fiber Powder Brush. I love this. It's a stippling brush that's slightly pinched. And I forgot to mention, I got the color Gorgeous Peach, which is the color that Jessica most recommended. You can never have too many peach blushes along with your eyeshadow palettes. Am I right? Oh, this feels nice, you guys. It feels like glossy and dewy, but not too liquidy. So I'm going to just put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take my stippling brush and just really kind of roll it in there and just go at it. Hopefully we'll get a really good, like, even application that won't pull off the coverage underneath. I love that. Ooh, it's like nice and subtle. That pairs really nicely with that bronzer underneath. Can you guys see the difference? Maybe not yet. Maybe my lights are too bright. Story of my life. They're too bright or too dark. I can never get them just right. I know of like 3 videos where my lights have been like, I've been like, yes, my lighting is perfect. That's all right. Doing my best. It's all you can do, right? Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit more. So I'm actually surprised I'm using more than I thought that I would. I imagine if I went in with my finger, I probably wouldn't use quite so much. I kind of want to keep this sort of high up on my cheek. I'm excited to see how this wears because it still feels very soft and kind of, I don't want to say tacky because it's not sticky. It's just feels very creamy on my cheeks. So I am curious to see how it wears throughout the day. I will keep you guys posted. So far, loving it. So let's move into the highlighter. I'm so excited to try this thing out. It looked so beautiful on Melissa. If you don't follow Melissa, I think her channel name is Miss Melissa M here on YouTube. But I absolutely love her. I will link her channel down below for you guys in case you haven't checked her out yet. Be sure to go check her out. She is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my Luxie tapered highlighting brush. There's just the perfect amount here on the top here. In fact, I should probably put it in the, oh my gosh, that was messy. Loose highlighters always take a little bit of figuring out like how best to work with it. I just kind of spilled it all over my beautiful eyeshadow palette, but that's okay. It's new. We can just dip onto the top of the eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna add that just to the tops of my cheeks. I almost wish I would have put this on first. Oh, wow. That is pretty. Ooh, it's intense, but it's pretty. This actually reminds me a little bit of the Ofra formula. That is beautiful. It is a little intense. I had quite a bit in my brush. I think I probably could have been a little bit more light-handed with it, but that is a really nice formula. If you like a good very like refined kind of highlighter formula that's still very, very glowy. This is a good one. All right, so now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's dip into this eyeshadow palette. So I first want to add a little bit of the eyeshadow primer. I'm so curious about this. I hope that it works as good, if not better, than a concealer. Love the packaging. I love a good squeezy tube packaging. So I just took a little bit of that on my fingertips. It's actually not as pigmented as I thought it would be. The color of this one reminds me a little bit of the Essence I Heart Stage Primer. It has just a soft, a little bit of pigment to it to where it kind of evens things out a little bit, but it's not quite as pigmented as like a real concealer would be. And hopefully it will hold on to my eyeshadows all day long. All right, so here are the colors right here. I'm very curious about these two greens because they looked very similar in the pan, but now that I have it open, they actually do look a little different. You can see, oh, those are pretty bright. This one's a little bit more lime, and this one's a little bit more like an avocado. I really want to do something green today, but I'm a little afraid of the brightness of those greens. Those are pretty intense greens. So this was priced at $12.98, which I think is a fantastic deal for 35 shades. You do get 3 pressed glitters in here. You guys probably know my feelings on pressed glitters. These aren't quite as chunky as some of the ColourPop ones, but they're still a little more chunky than I typically like on my eyes. I want to start off by going into this shade right here, which is just, looks to be just a hair darker than my kind of skin tone. So it's actually surprising to me. These don't actually swatch super pigmented, but they go onto the eyes pretty strong in pigment. Can you guys see? I mean, that's a pretty light shade, but can you see how much pigment that has on my eyes? They're just so blendable. They're really nice. Okay, now I'm going to take, with that same color, I'm going to grab this brush right here. This is the Juvia's Place Small Buffer Brush, which I think is funny. This thing is not small, but interesting name for a brush. But I'm going to grab this thing. I love using this thing to really pack a lot of color on my lower lash line. And that same color, I'm going to just kind of drag this kind of low underneath my lash line, almost in my lower socket right there. All right, so I want to move on now to a little bit of that green shadow. I want to add a little bit of that in my crease, and for that, I think I'm going to take this brush right here. This is an old Coastal Scents brush. I don't even know what this is. I've had it forever. It's basically like the MAC 217, but it's a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to dip into that bottom matte green right there, the one that's a little bit more of an avocado sort of green. We're going to kind of start placing that in the crease and on this outer half of my eyelid. Okay, that goes on a little bit less intimidating than it looks in the palette, which is good. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be too bright. Kind of, I mean, you definitely get some good color, but it's not, especially if we put something on top of that, I feel like that's going to be a little bit more of a wearable kind of green. And I love the color underneath it. I feel like it's perfect with it. Okay, so I think I like that level of green for now. I don't want to go crazy with the green because, again, I'm not sure that this color, at least standing alone, looks very good on my eye color, my skin tone personally, but I like it. Like, I like it in a sweater and in boots. So we're putting it on the eyes. But to tone that down a little bit, I'm just take my finger on this kind of shimmery bronzed green right here. And we're going to pack that on this outer corner right on top of that green that we put down. So I'm going to also take just the very tip of my finger and grab a little bit more of that. We're going to run it just under this kind of outer and center part of the lower lash line. Now I think I'm going to take this kind of light yellowy sort of gold, and I want to kind of pop that on the inner part of the lid and overlap that green that we just put down. Okay, that's a really fun yellowy gold. But I do want to add a little bit of depth, and I want to try and use this brown to add the depth. I don't know how deep this will be, but I know in their Sienna's palette, the brown inside that one doesn't look super deep either, but it actually still does a pretty good job of deepening out the outer corner. Just taking kind of what's left on my brush, and I'm just very lightly, not even really running it under my lash line, just running it right under the corner right there, just to tie that depth down to the lower lash line and kind of round out the shape right there, because I like my shape to be round. Okay, let's go ahead and add a little bit of liner. I'm just going to add this to my waterline and a tiny bit to my outer corner. I do this pretty much in every video, so I'm not going to do it on camera for you guys. This is the LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intense Auto Liner in the brown shade, Lasting Brown. Then I'm going to curl my lashes and add a couple of coats of mascara, and I will be right back with you guys. Alright guys, so here is pretty much the finished eye look. I forgot to mention what mascara I used. I used the Catrice Lashes to Kill Volumizing Mascara. Love this mascara. Very happy with this eye look. I think this is such a fun but still kind of wearable green eye look. I am really, really happy with it. I do want to add a little bit on my inner corner. I want to go in with this shade right here. This is kind of basically a shade lighter than this yellow gold. It's just a little bit of like a yellow toned champagne. And I think that's going to look beautiful on the inner corner. So we're going to add a little bit of that. Also forgot to mention, I did do my eyebrows off camera. I used the Ulta Beauty Ultra Slim Brow Pencil in Ash Taupe. And that is it for the eyes. Last thing, let's move on to the lips. So for my lips today, I'm just going to start off with a little bit of lip liner. I'm taking the NYX lip liner in the color Beige. And then I think I want to try this one first. So let me just swatch both of these for you guys. I got the shades Never Regret, which this specific shade is the one that Allie Glines recommended in a recent video. Let me just swatch them both for you. This is a very brown toned nude. It actually didn't look that brown on her, so I was surprised when I tried this on because I did try it on in the car like 5 minutes after I bought it. But it is pretty brown. It's more brown than I typically like to reach for. I'm hoping the lip liner will kind of make it pull a little bit more kind of pink or rosy. And then this is the color Skip the Gym. This one I didn't really like at first, but it's kind of grown on me. It's basically like a lighter toned kind of sheer peach with a gold shimmer to it. It does have quite a bit of shimmer, and I don't usually like shimmer in my lipsticks. So I'm still kind of on the fence about these. I think the formula is really nice. I picked these up for $5.97 at my Walmart, but I do think this brown one will look really nice with this eye look. So let's give it a try. Alright you guys, and here is the finished look with the finished lip. Love how this one turned out. I actually even like the brown lip with this eye look specifically. I feel like there's no other color that would go with a green eye other than a brown toned nude. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this makeup look. Very happy with all of these products. I'll keep you guys posted on the eyeshadow primer, how it works for me on the eyeshadow palette. I'm excited to keep playing with this thing. Excited to try out some of these other colors in here, the pinks and the purples. I think will be really fun to play with. So super happy with this. Super happy with the highlight, which I think looks stunning. Very excited about this blush. I think it looks stunning on the cheeks. My skin, I don't know if you can tell this on camera, but it feels very and looks very fresh and dewy because of all the cream products, which I always think is nice, especially if you suffer from dry skin. If you feel like your skin easily looks very heavy and makeup-y, cream products are a great way to go, especially on the cheek area. So very excited about this one. I will keep you guys posted on how it wears on me. And that, I think, is everything for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this sort of drugstore try-on haul. Let me know what products from the drugstore you guys are really into right now, if you've tried anything new, if any old favorites are speaking to you. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much again for watching this video. If you're not yet subscribed, I hope that you will hit that subscribe button before you leave. Ring the notification bell if you want to be informed every time I upload a video. And I hope you guys have a good one. I will see all of you very soon in my next video. Bye! Apologize for the noisy outro. Charlie woke up and made her way down here, so it is what it is. No one's home to help me. I'm on my own. You are a princess. Look at you. You have your crown on backwards. Are you a princess? Uh-huh. You guess what caught her eye? Color. Did I have a peanut on my lip that whole time? Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, did that just squirt on me? Of course it did, because I'm wearing a white shirt. Every time. It's totally gonna match my fingernails. You guys know I love to do that.